The following is rated F for fairness. Viewers' discretion is advised.
Welcome to the Audio Show. All I've got is just for you. You ready for my beef tonight? I'm okay, just treat me right. Come in, me people, come in, me friend. What you gonna do when you come to defend? Question ask, me answer them. Wheel it up and pull it up and mash again. I'm on fire. I'm on fire. I'm on
All right, y'all. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I wanted to do an impromptu live because I felt like we had a topic on our hand. And I think it's worth us talking about. This has created a bit of a stir this morning, right? The topic is good morning. Good morning. I won't stay longer than about, I guess, maybe half an hour. I think that should do enough. Besides, I don't know if I have more than that time. But if you haven't hit the like button, go ahead and do that so other people can get on. So we can chit chat a little bit about this. Good morning. What's up, Jakia? Y'all know me. I'll try to come to the thing. All right. So I wanted to do this impromptu live. So this morning this happened, correct? For Anthony and Shayla. And Anthony is saying some things, and people say, no, O'Neill, I think you're wrong on this one. And that's fine. Nothing wrong with that because it's a discussion that we're having. I don't mind that. I don't mind pushbacks. You understand? So don't think O'Neill is ever saying he's 100% correct. I'm not. I'm just giving ideas. Okay. So you said Dre, I'm running out of ideas. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm running out of ideas or if he's even making any sense. At all. I don't know if he's making sense. Dre is kind of what I'm saying. That's my thing. I don't know if Anthony is making sense. The big question is this: is Anthony making any sense? Okay, that's the question. So that's the question.
Well, that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just staying in my
a common bloodline, and everything we do is for God, And with this divorce happening, if she gets half my money, that means half the money that I'm trying to leave to him, she gets that. So it's kind of like you're coercing with the enemy.
All right, that's that. This is exactly what we're trying to examine. The question is this: is Anthony correct that if Amber supports, if Anthony supports, if Shayla supports Amber, then Amber can do whatever it is? I'm asking the question with that. Is he making any sense? That's the question. He's searching for an ally. But is he making any sense, Jakia? Is he making any sense searching for an ally? Does it make sense for him to be searching for an ally? That's the question I'm trying to ask people. Because this is a very, very good topic. So this morning I wanted to check on something. Here's a big question for me and the audience. Can you get more than you are asking for in a divorce? That is the question. This is the question people need. This is the question. Can you get more than you're asking for in a divorce? This is the question you want to know. This is the question that I think that people are trying to answer. In other words, is it just 50% that Anthony would get? In other words, is that let's just say the judge is supposed to rule. Can you get more than you're asking for in a divorce? Can you get more than you're asking for in a divorce? That is the question to you, the audience out there. Because I think when Anthony is talking, people just look here. Again, I'm not saying Anthony is manipulative, and Anthony is not, he doesn't have ulterior motives, but he is. The one thing I've learned about these skits is even the characters that are phony sometimes drop some level of wisdom. Look for Michelle. Michelle talked about the nanny thing, and is that true? It was true. So I've now said, well, hold on it before I dismiss what Anthony is saying. Ask yourself the question though. Can he get more than whatever it is? 100% of y'all say yes. 100% of people said yes. Let's check this out. Let's check this. All right, I want y'all to see this. So I wanted to show y'all this because this is why somebody said the other day, a clock, even a broken clock is right 2 times per day. Even a broken clock is right 2 times per day. I want you to look at this. Look at this on your screen. Yes, it is possible to receive more money than you specifically requested in a divorce in Georgia. Do you see that? Do you see this? That's why I love the broken clock analogy. Whomever, I think it was someone else that mentioned this on the channel, and it's worth getting into. So the truth is, look at this on your screen. So it is actually possible to do this. It is possible for Anthony to actually get more than it's possible for Amber to actually get more. In other words, Amber could take basically 90%. It's not just Georgia law, that Willie. I'm just giving Georgia as one example. But in other words, in every divorce, whatever it is possible to get more than you're asking for. So Amber could be asking for 50, but because the evidence is so damning on Anthony, i.e., whatever Shayla probably even brings forward, she could get more. I don't think people realize that piece there. So when he's saying what he's saying, 100% off. This is why I'm not all that off. Look at this. Yes, let's say him get 90%. Let's say she get 90%. Then what? Then what? Kai money gone. A broken clock is right. Even a broken clock is right 2 times per day. That's why I'm asked the question, is he not speaking any facts though? The women them were up and them said, no, O'Neill, him just do it. I say, okay, well, but let's examine it. Let's examine it. So let us just say, let's work at it this way. So if Shayla assists Amber, so Amber could get more if Shayla assists her. True or false? These are the truth. If Shayla decides that she's going to assist Amber, could Amber get more? What if Shayla decides that, because Shayla decides she basically be doing the pro thing, right? Shayla says she is pro Amber. So in other words, on the flip side, that means it now makes sense why Amber wants to keep Shayla close. Hold on, look at the entire picture, because remember, O'Neill is not pro anything. O'Neill just looking at the entire story. Now it makes sense why Amber is keeping Shayla close. Now Shayla makes sense, and now Daniel makes sense. Now it becomes calculative on Amber's part. Now you see why Amber, what Amber could be doing. These two things are key because they're two of the closest people to Anthony. Two of the closest people to Anthony is Ben, because Ben have something to do with the money piece of things, and Shayla, who have the baby. Those two key pieces are extremely key. And remember, Ben went and talk to Daniel. This is not a far off. Your girl is moving, very, very stealth-like. Say what you want to say about it now. Amber is moving stealth-like, and that's what I'm trying to show you now, that she not all that stupid. Or could I just be making this? I'm just saying, this is where it could go. This is why it is no longer just you can't just write off what Anthony is saying because he's not wrong. This is why I'm not wrong. No, me show you why I'm not wrong. Because if Amber solicits and gets the support of Daniel, So Daniel basically tell her everything that Ben has. So she know where the money them hidden. And then she gets the support of Shayla, who come in at the court and testify all of the things with Kai. Anthony money is close to being all gone. So him right by saying, listen to me. If you give Shayla all of the info, the truth of the matter is Kai's money could be gone. This is why I said, don't just write off what the man say. Because this morning, me hear people just writing it off. And I say, well, all right, let's look into it. Because if she only can get 50%, fine, you win me. But no, she can get more than 50% if she has all of the evidence to show she won't get more than 50%. The judge could give her more than 50%. Mm-hmm. Correct? Good morning, Eckling. We're showing you how Amber is moving calculative right now. We're showing you where the calculation could be coming in. That's what we're looking at. We're looking at where the calculation could come in. Let me see what you guys are saying. Let me read some comments. Why Anthony not far off when he says, hey, be very mindful. Remember, I'm still fighting a battle. In the wrong. Shayla could unintentionally help Amber trying to keep Amber in the friend zone. Yes. 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 I want to know. I want y'all to have different viewpoints of the thing. Me no want to know. Give me no. That's why I said don't give me a pro Amber answer. This morning when I tried to talk to folks, I said, folks, if you're not Amber fans, don't give me a pro Amber answer. Sit down and think about the actual thing. Think about the actual divorce and see what's going on. See what's at stake and see what's involved in a divorce. See the many different pieces because it's there. For if you want to see it, it's there. That's what I tell people. Because what people doing is they know Anthony, and so them trying to use the whole who Anthony is to do. No, you have to understand. Say yes, everything. Yes, you want Shayla and Amber to join forces because they could. They could. They could. If Amber had a good attorney, she'd dig up all the funds Anthony has spent on Shayla. That could work in Amber's favor. See, we don't know. We don't know we're not there yet. They might just put that up there. So set up. It's adding up now. Shayla may be the key to it all. Shayla is one of the key them. The moment Shayla finds out about Denisha, she and Amber is gonna join forces. That's what I'm telling you. Anthony is on the hook. Whether you want to understand, look here, understand this. He is very exposed compared to what people is thinking. He's exposed. So when him say basically, that it can affect Kai, the answer is yes. It could affect Kai. All of this divorce thing could actually affect Kai. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Give me y'all's take. Give me your take. Give me your take, friends. Give me a take. I'm looking for your take. That is correct, Eklin. Give me a take. Is it making any sense? Son, if you have the like button, go ahead and do that. I'm gonna be on just for half an hour. Like I said, we have probably just half an hour to discuss it. But I saw it this morning and I saw some percent. Wait until Sheila finds out about Denisha. Wow, Georgia divorce law. That really is not just Georgia, and I think that when I looked it up, it was just laws in general are like that. You can get more than you're asking for. And that's right, Jakia. Broken clock is right twice each day. Yes, the judge will give her whatever. I think you can because it's up to the judge. That is correct. Anthony's all over the place trying to get everyone on his side. He wants Shayla to go against Amber for the money. Yes, and he's saying, so I'm gonna ask a question to Angela Ross. He's saying the truth of the matter is, if you help Amber, it could affect Kai's money. The question is, can it affect Kai's money? That's what the question was with this. Kai is a baby, he can always make the money back after divorce. What if he doesn't? What if he doesn't? And dog, I know y'all look at things like this, and sure, can he always make the money back? You don't know how long that's gonna take. You do realize that Ford when took a while to make him money back, right? And different people take a while to make money. Money is not something you can just get up tomorrow and go out in the speed. The type of money that Anthony has. If Amber was to clean him out, it's not something that going drop out of the sky. It takes a while to make money back. You think you think money is just something that just comes out of the sky? If it was that easy, then Warren Buffett would be giving out his money. If it was that easy, Elon Musk could have given all his wealth. Or any of these billionaires, if it was that easy to make money back. Anthony's saying it and they talk a lot about it. If it was that easy, then Warren Buffett would not say this statement. Rule number one, don't lose money. Rule number two, don't forget. Rule number one. This was what Warren Buffett said. Let me just give you this on your screen so you can see it. If it was this easy ant dog, then Warren Buffett, billionaire Warren Buffett, would never have given you this. Rule number one, don't lose money. Rule number two, don't forget rule number one. I just want to let you know that. I just want to let you know that. It sounds good in theory. Yeah, man, just make the money back if you can. Just do it. Sure, but how long will it take to make the money back? Well, while Kai's in high school trying to get money to go to school? I'm just saying. I am just saying. We know it's about the money, Yolanda, but the question is this: could it actually affect Kai monetarily? That's the question. Regardless, even if Anthony's putting Kai in it, we're asking to look at what he's saying though. Is he correct? That's what we're saying, Yolanda. I know what you're saying now, Yolanda. I got you. I got you. So this is what y'all say right here. So I think Anthony should hire a PI and look for the dirt. He probably should, but he's joking around. Remember, you know, Yolanda, more you put on your unbiased hat. So what if the judge gives awards Amber 90%? Then what? Yolanda, then what? What if the judge awards Amber 90%? How will Anthony have money for do whatever he's doing? I'm just asking you. Angela will try to convince Shayla to help Anthony. Basically, only my theory is that Shayla's mom and Angelina's sister by father, oh, okay, interesting, is looking up Angelina, joining her, and Patty scamming. Oh, the feds found out. And the girl took a fall. Anthony better hurry up and get a PI because Amber could stop messing with Dave, and then he could not get proof of the cheating, correct? Yes, Demo, that's true. Anthony put Kai in the situation. Really, it's not about Kai, it's about the money. But I'm asking you the question though. It has to be about Kai though, Yolanda, because if Anthony gets drained, then Kai is affected. Is that not so? Or are we saying something different? That is the question. If Amber takes all the money, right? If Amber takes all the money, does that affect Kai? That is the question, Yolanda. When you answer that with whatever it is, that's why I'm asking that. The reason why I say so is because a man or a woman will take, but yes, however, I see what you're saying, Yolanda. So you're saying, Yolanda is saying, the reason why I say so is because of the man or woman will take care of their children, whether it's 100 million or $100. Yes. However, the quality of life for Kai will be different than if it was 100, it was whatever it is. Your quality of life is different based on the amount of money your parents have. Say what you want to say about it, that's the truth. It determines the neighborhood you grow up in. Sure, did my mother take care of me and my father? They did. But them never have no money, them live in a ghetto. So me have to face ghetto challenges. That's a reality. No, I have a child and she don't, and me have more money than my parents have. So she's able to live in a certain different way that's different than I had to. She never get exposed to a bunch of gunshots fired outside. She never get exposed to that. And that is to be valued. She not exposed to that. She not exposed to, thief running through your house. She not exposed to that. She not exposed to some normal circumstances where girls doing a bunch of wild things. She's not exposed to that. So for us to say it don't affect it, let's revisit that again. She's not exposed to that. She has a better life. In other words, she can focus more on life. That's what we're saying. So you say, there you go. O'Neill, Anthony could do whatever he wants, but it's up to the court. That's what we're saying, Steffi. We're saying that what we're saying is that though the more data that Shayla can provide to Amber, which we're seeing now that Amber is calculative, we're realizing now Amber is really keeping what you call it. Amber is keeping Daniel close, which makes sense. People ask, is she really using Daniel? Yes, because Ben is a factor. Don't look upon it as a bad thing, friends. Sometimes people, when we say things about Amber, people look upon it as a bad thing every time. It's not always a bad thing. Is she using Daniel to get some to see exactly if she can keep close to find out about Ben? Possibly. And there is nothing wrong with that. You should do something. If you have the opportunity to do that, then you should do it. That's all I'm saying. It's just, you should. True, O'Neill. I grew up in the hood, so you're right. The quality of life is much better. Exactly. It just is. So if I make it seem as though, you know what I mean, like, Anthony, you go. I'm just saying, we're just them giving us a story, and we're just trying to pinpoint from the story, any fact, if there's anything in the fact. Good morning. Thank you very much for joining, Goddess London. Boy, Goddess, how is everything, Goddess? How is Mommy, Goddess? Is everything all right? Mommy, all right? I need to get Goddess on the phone. O'Neill Anthony lawyer told him it was illegal to hide assets. He went behind their back and hid them. Anthony is going to lose it all. Which is why now Daniel is important. Because Daniel holds the key to Ben. Ben holds the key to the hidden assets. Friends, say what you want to say about it, but Amber is calculative. That's why O'Neill has now come out to the thing that Amber is calculative. The girl have done a method. So when O'Neill said Amber may be using Daniel and people say, oh my God, O'Neill, what you want Daniel for? Yeah, because it makes sense. It makes sense. That's why. Daniel is tied to Ben. Ben is the one who hide the assets for Anthony. So who do I get to? The woman. Because if I get to the woman, and I keep the woman where I have her, and I continue to show the damsel in distress, then chances are the woman can get me the information that I need. She is there. So the people will come in the comments and say, no, well, you mean she cannot use her only what you mean. Amber don't need to stop that. Divorce is war, friends. Look, divorce can be war. But some people don't want to admit that. And that's all we're saying. Some people just want to admit it. Let me read some comments. Regardless, Kai came after their marriage, so Anthony put him in this situation. That is true. He has to pay for his mistakes. He's going to pay something. I would say the same thing if the shoe was on the other foot. So it makes sense. We're just showing you though why he's saying what he's saying. So that's all we're saying. We're just showing you that him now to try to see if him can cover by saying what he's saying to Shayla. He's not wrong in saying, hey, the truth of the matter is the more you assist Shayla is the more you really are going against Kai. That was the argument in making. But people write him off and we are saying, well, he's not really wrong. I mean, is he wrong? He's not wrong. Because you still a fight a little divorce. Yes, Amber is using Daniel absolutely because desperate for a friend. I hope Ben and Darren lose Anthony's money. Shayla will find out that Amber is cheating. She's going to tell Anthony. Let's see. Let me get some comments from y'all, friends. Give me one moment. Yeah, the quality of life different. He should have known that before he went and cheated and made a baby. True, but guess what? He's here now, and so he have to try to see if he can fight. I'm just saying it's a divorce, so people have to try to fight it their way. Just like Amber is working what she's working. Right now, I realize Amber is very calculative right now because the reason why she keeping Shayla as a friend is because the truth of the matter is, yes, Shayla has now become pro Amber to the point where it seemed like Shayla probably would testify against Anton. Let me ask y'all that. Do you think Shayla would testify against Anthony? This is what now. These are good questions. Don't worry, friends. We're having an honest discussion. Don't feel weird. We're just having an honest discussion. More you have an honest discussion with me, so you can see it from all angles. That's what O'Neill is doing. I'm just exploring the topic that they give us. I'm just exploring the topic. Good. Can you see that? The woman is pro Amber. Kelvin was impacted by Brittany's stepmom divorcing Kelvin's dad. This was stated in last year's skit. Yes. Yes. What happens to the wife in a divorce? Does she not have a place in that divorce? I would figure the wife would come before the child from an adulterous relationship. Sure, we're not saying nay on these. We're just, okay, for those who are just joining us, friends, welcome into the channel. We're just examining what Anthony said this morning. Anthony said to Shayla, the truth is, Shayla, it seems like you're very pro Amber. And if you're pro Amber, remember that the truth of the matter is it could affect Kai. Right? Now, we know Anthony says a bunch of different things. We know he says these things. But it had me thinking. And I said, well, O'Neill, the first question is this. Could he get more? Could Amber get more than she asked for? And the answer to it was this. Look at this. This was the answer. For those who just joining us, so you know what we're talking about. Just so that way, you're not off. This is the answer to the question. Is the answer. I want to give you all the answers to the question. Yes, it is possible to receive more than specifically requested in a divorce, particularly regarding property. Do you see this? In other words, even though Amber requests 50%, she could get more than 50%, which means Amber could get 90% if the evidence is so overwhelming on Anthony. So when Anthony says, well, Shayla, if you are so pro Amber, you do know that I could lose to the point that it affects Kai. And we're asking the question, is he right or is he wrong? Some people say, yes, O'Neill, him wrong is foolishness. We're now seeing that him actually right. That's what we're saying to you. We're now seeing that he's actually right. It could happen. But let's see. If Amber gets 50%, that now gonna stop the baby forget. What we're saying, she could get more. Depending on the evidence, she could get more, Sanita. That's the point. You know, fathom what's going on. She's asking for 50%, but she could get more than 50%. I want you to fathom that. Get that in your brain. She could get 90%. That's what we're saying. She could get 90. She could get 90%. She could get 90%. Whatever the judge said, that's what we're trying to show you. That's why we're saying it's not as frivolous as it sounds. People are brushing it off because them see Anthony as a clown and they think he's doing what he always does, which is being manipulated. But we're examining the topic as adults. Do you see that? Shayla may, if she believes Anthony won't impact her son, especially if she believes that Iman got her and Kai will be responsible and Anthony will be responsible for Kai, richer or poorer. Correct. Shayla would testify against Anthony because she feels Kai will continue to be her ticket to being taken care of. Shayla values the friendship from Amber. Correct. So we are trying to show no I go on. That's how it go. The thing up on the line, whether I want to like it or not, the thing up on the line, I hope they find is his hidden money. Anthony spends much of his time trying to manipulate people. Good if she gets it because of what she put her through. Well, and that's cool, Annie. So the point now that he's making is right. That yes, so he's making a point to Shayla and we're saying he is right. That's the point we were making. So you're making the point we're making. Anthony is paying her bills as well as Iman. Ben and Anthony should get married. They are two peas in a pod. Them are just men. Well, if Shayla is smart, she'll remember that he told her Kai would be fine and he had money already set aside for Kai. But them could see that as something different. I think that overseas money has been spent by Ben. Possibly. Who knows? I agree, O'Neill. Amber know that Shayla have loose lips. I wish that in the line it would prove that Kai is not his son then. Even if Kai is not his son, he's still responsible for him right now. Until you can take his name off of the birth certificate, he's still responsible. Even if it's not his son, he'd have to go through a lot of processes to get him name off of the birth certificate. want to know that work already with kids. If Amber's affidavit is affair is found out and Anthony's hidden assets are also found out, what happens then? I'm not sure. That's a good question. I'd have to check that one out. Elena, is it Elena? Is it Eleanor? Eleanor, is that what it is? Eleanor, I'd have to check that one out. That's a good question. I'd have to check that one out. I wish. Oh yeah, that's the line you asked me about with Kai one. Let me read some more comments, friends. I'm reading y'all's comments, friends. I'm reading y'all comments. I think she will be forced into testifying, but I don't think she'll be voluntarily testify. There's no merit. What Anthony is saying, Shayla is not, has no court order against him, and neither does she want one. And it doesn't matter what Amber gets, Anthony has to pay. Either way, he loses. Well, I think what he's saying, George, I get where you're coming from. So let's look at it though, George. The truth of the matter is, can Shayla provide extra evidence to assist the case? That is a question. Maybe let's start it from there. So, can Shayla provide any evidence to assist Amber in court outside of Kai? That's the question, George. And if the answer is yes, then I'm right. If the answer is no, then you're right. That's the question. If Shayla can provide any extra whatever it is evidence inside of court, can it assist Amber? That's the question. Can she provide any evidence that will assist? That's a question. Can Shayla provide any evidence? Think about it. In other words, could Shayla actually do something that could affect the marriage? Remember, it's optics you're going in a judge. When you're going a court of law, it's not about right or wrong, it's about the optics. Oh, it look. So in other words, if me, the woman, make it look very, very terrible upon you, then the court is more likely to side with whoever else it is. You know this. Take Kai out of it. The question is, can Shayla say more things to load Beer and Anthony? That is a question you try to ask yourself. We already know Kai's evidence. Put Kai down as one evidence to the side. The question is, can Shayla do more things? That's a question may I ask you, George. Come on, give me the answer to that. Can she provide more things? Anthony's moving stupid. He could have gotten Amber out of his house as soon as she slapped him, but he never do it. Yes, he moved dumb. That's what we're saying now. All right. So yes, Shayla and Kai are the evidence already. Okay. All right. Hold on, George. George. George, come here, George. This why I ask you the question, George. Come in when you give me those frivolous answers. More you give me more than that answers, George. I mean, know you're a man where always give me solid answers. George, I want you to look on this. George, I want you to pay attention to this. Yes, the mistress can provide evidence, but the courts require more than just her words. In many cases, a direct evidence, her testimony or her direct evidence is used to confirm affair or trace marital funds spent on her, those things. George, in other words, Shayla is key. George, the baby is one thing, but Shayla is key. I don't want you go around Shayla's thing. Because what I try to show you, George, is certain little pieces. We know him not deny they are fearing a George, but they might try to trace things now. see this, Judge? Look at these things, Judge. Tracing marital affairs. If your husband spends significant community or marital funds on her, buying her gifts, paying her rent, taking vacations, her testimony and financial records can be crucial. This evidence is used to claim a reimbursement of the funds or request a larger portion of the marital estate. Do you see this, Judge? Me tell you no. Don't come with an amber hat. Come with a logical thinking hat for me. If you're going to come with the amber hat, you're going to miss the conversation we are trying to have. You're going to miss the conversation because these are the opportunity now for you to see other parts of this entire thing. Do you see them things, George? Yes, more than Kai is and more. We already know Kai exists. But now, basically, Shayla can provide way more information that will assist Amber in getting more money. So yes, Amber calculative. Right now, me I tell you right off of the cuff, Amber is now calculative. Me I try to show y'all how he him right in saying, yo, hey, if you provide whatever it is, the truth of the matter is, yes, this is what's on the line. Now, is he sleazy and slimy? Yes, he is, but that are just the fact. What we are trying to do is establish the fact. No, in a wrong for take our share. Annie, in a wrong for Amber take our share. That's why I say Amber is moving very calculative. I now understand what Amber is doing. Amber have Shayla close for a reason. Amber, the reason why Amber have Shayla, I see why Amber has befriended Shayla. I now see why. I see how Amber plan to use this in the court of law. So I now have to take back. Boy, it's kind of rough, whatever it is. Amber is using it. Well, if that's what she's doing. If that's not what she's doing, then it's crazy. But if that's what she's doing, I'm going to have to applaud her. If Amber is using Shayla to get the information out of her, yay, I got to say. Mm-hmm. And that is correct, T baby. It's not Amber's problem if it affects Kai. You are correct. We're not saying it's Amber's problem at all. We're just saying that's why we say Amber is calculative. That's why we just give her credit and say, hey, if that's what she's doing, it's very calculative. Actually, it's very smart. It's very, very smart. O'Neill, I know it's just a skit, but do you think Amber is wrong to take her share? Nope, she's not wrong. In divorce, you take exactly what you can get. May the best person win. Annie, when it comes to this divorce, may the best person win. That's why I say when Anthony move around and act like a clown, hey, you can't hear, you're going to feel. Correct? There are consequences. Amber knows he got her an apartment and paid all the bills. Anthony admitted it as much to Amber. But having the evidence is different. That's what we're trying to say to you, friends. Having the evidence of it different. If this is what Amber is doing, she's smart. Sincerely, could be Shayla's real mother. It doesn't matter, it affects Kai. That's Anthony's problem. It's also Shayla's problem. that's what Anthony is saying. It's also Shayla's problem. Anthony is saying it's your problem as well, Shayla. So you say I agree. I'm not denying that, but Amber is not trying to use Shayla. Amber is trying to protect her affair. She already thinks that Shayla, got you. So the question, but it was a good. It was look here. I think they brought this up, which is interesting, and I didn't look at it this way. But I was like, well, what if them swing the story that way? Because George, so them go all over the place some of the times. Only do you see the link I sent you in the video comment that Amber helped Anthony when he was broke? I did not see the hold on. I need to see that link. I'm gonna make sure I see that link. Not yet, Eklin. I'm gonna look for it though. Thank you very much for that because that helps me. Like I said, a lot of people have been saying things, and I want to correct it. Eklin, me not see it as yet. Let's see. Let's see if I can find it. But yeah, friends, I just look here. I just wanted to pinpoint. What did you miss, Sabrina? We're saying that Anthony was asking questions about, Anthony was telling Shayla that actually the divorce could affect Kai. Okay? And people are saying he wasn't right, but we're saying he's actually right. It could, because Amber could get more money than she's asking for. At least Amber is proactive. She's cheating and taking his money while he's just allowing it, and happens no resistance. No resist. He more focused on the other woman, kids, while he's not fighting to save his future. Correct. That is correct. Marian West, I agree. I think Shayla and Amber will embarrass Anthony on the podcast. Shayla is not going to testify that she took advantage of Anthony in court. Shayla is going to flip the story and make it seem like Anthony took advantage of her. Correct. Another weapon that Amber has over Anthony. Correct. Possible. But that's the way you're saying, though, George. I see what you're saying. It could be that, she didn't do anything at all and nothing's going on. The thing about it is that Shayla never comments on Anthony when Amber is ragging about him, raging about him. Okay, I see. So what if Amber cheats and Anthony cheat again and the assets are hiding? What happens then? Sanita, I'm going to have to research that. Somebody just asked it. Well, Annie asked the same question. I'm going to have to look up that. If Anthony finds out, it affects it. But I don't think if Anthony doesn't find out about Dave, then hey, him there on the hook. it's perception. If Anthony doesn't find out about Dave, Amber is clear. She going to get her money anyway. We will just have to stuff that. Yeah, she getting the wood and she getting the money at the same point in time. There you go. But I like it. Shayla has forgotten how Anthony treats her and has not forgotten how Anthony treats her and will not fall for his mess. This is going to backfire on Anthony. Anthony, get your lawyer more involved. Correct. Anthony is playing with fire, and I believe that Amber and Shayla will team up. And if they team up, he could lose more money. That's what we're saying. If Shayla teams up, I didn't see the comment, Stephanie. Let me look at the comment. If Amber gets Shayla to team up with her, she's gonna get more money. That's what we're realizing now. That the base of the argument lies there. If Shayla finds out that Anthony's talking to Danisha, she would. If Shayla teams up with Anthony, it's over for him. Is what I'm saying. It's over. Because Amber is going to take that money. She's going to get the money. That's what we're saying. But hey, Stefan, let me see if I find a comment real quick. Good Lord, this was supposed to be only 30 minutes, but I wanted to see if we could talk about it. They're both hiding assets. They're both being deceitful. Shayla has gotten, okay, that's the one you had there. Shayla's not going to testify that there you go. I read that comment before. Only I needed to watch the first skit with Angelina and the lady. I'm going to have to watch that skit. Yes, I'm going to have to watch that skit, Stephanie, and then see what's going on with it. I just wanted to come on because Anthony said his thing, and I was like, does it have any sense into it? That's really what it was. I wanted to see if it made any sense because people were saying, no, O'Neill, it doesn't make sense. And, what you mean? No, O'Neill, what you mean? That doesn't affect, And I'm like, well, let's check that out because it was interesting. That's all I'm saying. But friends, I didn't want this to last long. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I'm going to talk to y'all soon. I've got to run. Let me go get to some clients. I'll talk to y'all soon. Have a wonderful day. I love y'all very much. Bye-bye.
Welcome to the O'Neill Show. All I've got is just for you. You ready for my beef tonight? I'm okay, just treat me right. Come in, me people, come in, me friend. What you gonna do when you come to defend? Question ask, me answer them. Wheel it up and pull it up and mash again.